What's going on out
With
here?
the help of the Almighty, we're coming here as representatives of the Jews who are true to their Judaism. They're anti-Zionist Jews. We practice our religion, subservience to God. That's what it means, Judaism. And the Zionism that claims to represent our religion and the state of Israel, unfortunately, is constantly meddling, in this case, trying to impede a world peace effort by President Obama. And they're openly telling the world that they're lobbying. They put millions and tens of millions of dollars to put pressure on the senators. We've come out here with a message for the senator from New York, Senator Schumer. Please listen to the voice of anti-Zionist Jews and do not be influenced by the Zionist attempt to impede the world peace that's been initiated by the world leaders today. And we have a second message also, that we condemn their constant belittling of President Obama in any shape or form. This is against Judaism. Zionism, the state of Israel, is a transformation from religion to nationalism. They ignore all the rules, all the laws of the Torah, that we are to be loyal citizens in every country we reside, that we are to pray for the peace and well-being of other countries we reside. They vilify anybody who stands in opposition and ridicules the Jewish communities that oppose them. Here you have right across from Manhattan, the most largest concentration of religious Jews beside Jerusalem, without any one Israeli flag. We're all, because we are Jewish, in opposition to the state of Israel, and they're falsely representing us using Jewish symbols. And what they're doing, meddling in the political issues of the world and trying to impede world peace, we're out here to demand that the world should hear that this is not the voice of Judaism, and they should not in any way be swayed or be pressured by them.
Now, I can tell this makes you really emotional. I mean, you know, the things that Israel, has done.
Yes.
You say in the name of Jewry. You're saying
Yes.
this is not in the name of Jewry.
Right, that's definitely certain. I mean, the chief rabbis of Palestine from day one, when they wanted to ratify the concept of a state of Israel, the chief rabbis of Palestine, Rabbi Dushinsky, pleaded with the United Nations, and it's in their documents. He said, we do not want a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. That's in their own records, and the Jewish community that was living there for hundreds of years in peace with the Muslim and the Christian communities wanted to continue coexisting without any aspiration for any statehood. That's clearly against the Torah of us to have any nationalism. That's part of the decree of exile. We wait ultimately for the revelation of God, all humanity will serve Him in harmony, and then there will also not be a state of Israel. So this hope is really a direct rebellion against God, and what it has brought an endless river of blood, of mistrust, of hate between Muslims and Jews, and the exacerbation of anti-Semitism in Europe. Everybody sees it, and yet they're claiming they go out, they set the house on fire, and then they say, oh, it's this guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, it's Iran vilifying these people. No, the ones who are to be vilified, who have blood on their hands, is the state of Israel, and they're falsely, constantly using the mantle of Judaism and claiming that they are Judaism. They are creating hate of us, but it's not necessary. And now the world leaders are trying to have a peace initiative. Let them have this peace initiative, and we can have peace. We want, with God's help, the total removal of the impediment of peace. This state of Israel, God help peacefully. And but this is clear that they're the ones who are the root of this constant strife for mistrust and suffering, bloodshed.
And what are we looking at right here? Who's out here, and what are you guys hoping to achieve by being out here today?
Well, here we have from Greater New York, but people who have come originally from the Holy Land, from Jerusalem. We have people like 8 generations Palestinian. We have people from Europe, from the UK, and we're all the voice of the Jews who are true to Judaism, clearly just saying that one statement. Zionism, do not reckon with Zionism or their representatives, the state of Israel's representatives. They're not the voice of Judaism, and they're not the will of the Jewish people, and Jews do not want to meddle we're forbidden to meddle in the political moves of countries, and certainly not to impede their striving for peace. That's our message clearly, that people should stop. The senators, not just Senator Schumer, but the other senators should just really not be swayed or pressured by the Zionists, and not to be fearful that they'll be labeled anti-Semitic. They should look at the Jewish communities true to the Torah that are saying the problems of fear of anti-Semitism and bloodshed is because of what the state is doing, that they're existing, oppressing both the Palestinians and the Jewish people that are there. We have Jewish people there who suffer under the hands of the Zionists. They're trying to uproot their connection to religion. They're constantly arresting them simply because they're speaking their voice, that they do not want this occupation and so forth.
Now, I see that you have your young son here. Maybe you have your family here. Are you hoping for him?
My young son is married.
Are you? Well,
he's in rabbinical college. Yes.
Young is relative.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody under 30 is young.
Yes.
But you're hoping for a different world for his children and
God help
him to come up.
Yes. God is almighty, is all compassionate. We pray every day. We look to God with His compassion, that He should bring a speedy and peaceful dismantlement of the state of Israel, so we could once again both live in peace with our neighbors, with the Arab Muslim community and Christian community that live there, and also that we can show as Jews our gratefulness for the hundreds of years that the Muslim and Arab countries gave us a safe haven and a home. And ultimately, we pray for the day when everybody will recognize the one God and serve Him in harmony. But we really feel, we are certain, as our rabbis throughout the world told us, this Zionism is the precursor, the cause, the root cause of so much hate and animosity, and it's a direct rebellion against God. And God warned that this is what will happen. And now they're trying to bring peace. And this is what's happening, unfortunately, that they're pressuring the senators not to allow this to happen.
Thank you.